Shalom, Yasharala. I want to give infinite honors to Yahweh Y, Yahweh Shai. I want to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. And salutation to you, sincere I can pushing the truth across the four winds. I'm going to do this sit down about these last days, seconds, and times, man. If you're a man of the law, you're preparing for the worst. All right? The devil going to come down on us with great wrath, and we're going to be put in scenarios like this. Now, this was a bunch of heathens interrogating, look like a Jake in Indonesia. But they adopt all these wicked-ass devices from the so-called white man, man. And, you know, the white man is going to be more technologically advanced when he come with his interrogation devices. They're going to be torturing a lot of brothers, doing things like that. So that's why right now it's essential for you to swallow down all your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding so you can get through these times. Because when you read Ezra, Ezra saw these things, and this was his answer to it. He saw all of these things happening. All right, this is 2nd Ezra 8:3. There be many created, but few shall be saved. All right, so he was pondering in his mind, all right, so what other few that's going to be saved have to do? All right, he saw people getting tortured, beheaded, dying of famine, starvation, pestilence. He saw these things, all right? So I answered and said, swallow then, O my soul, understanding and devour wisdom. And he came to the conclusion through the Spirit that to get through these calamities and these atrocities, that he had to get built up through the Spirit and gain all of what the wisdom and knowledge he could get. All right. So when once you put in scenarios like this and situations like this, you can go through it. It's no different than Yahushua. All Yahushua had to do was renounce that he was the king and he was the redeemer, and they would have let him live. Pontius Pilate gave him a few chances to go back on his word, but he didn't. He went through it. All right. Stephen had a chance to go back on his word and renounce Yahushua. All he had to do was be quiet, but he kept prophesying. All right. Paul was bit by a venomous snake. So when you get built up through the Spirit and these scriptures are just going through your veins and you on fire, no matter what you go through, you're gonna be able to go through it. Like, just look at that scenario. All right. That looked like a black mamba. One bites you out of here. All right. Paul was bit by a venomous snake and it didn't have no effect on him. And those heathens thought he was a god. Those Israelites in the Gentile state thought he was a god. Okay? But let's say the snake bites you and you perish. All right? But they was trying to get you to renounce your Yahushua, take the chip, give up your brothers where your brother's location at. You get bit by the snake and you die, so be it. Yes, it's going to be a gruesome death, but that's the lot of a prophet. Things written aforetime was written for our learning. When you read history, that's the modem the devil used. He used animals and wild bees and the brickland and all type of torture devices to the men of the Lord of old. So when the scriptures say it's going to be no time like this ever before, let me go up over a few precepts. All right, this is scriptures could tell it better than I ever could tell it. This 2nd Ezra 16 and 17. Now look, this Ezra seeing all these things. He say, war is me, destruction is me, destruction is me. Who would deliver me in those days? So he's looking at these days and time, all this great death. All right, the beginning of sorrows, great mornings, the beginning of faith, and great death. This brother said great death. All right, so it's safe to say millions upon millions of people are going to be dying over here day in and day out. All right, the beginning of wars, the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. All right, that was evil what those guys was doing, that man. All right, in Israel, when we bring somebody to the, according to our law, if they did something unto death, we just kill their asses. We don't sit there and play with them, torture them. All right, what shall I do when these evils shall come? All right, and that's what your wisdom and knowledge come in. That's where your understanding of the scriptures come in. They tell us what you should do, and I'm be distinctly. All right, all these calamities are gonna come on mankind, but when this devil come down with great wrath, let's see who he's gonna come for. This second Ezra 16 and 70. For there shall be in every place, in those next cities, great insurrection upon those that fear Yahweh. So that's us. That's the men of the Lord. We the ones that fear Yahweh. All right? That's who he's going to come down. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall be known who are my chosen, for they have been tried as gold in the fire. And like if you done went through that, what that guy just went through and held fast, man, you get a crown of life. You got a motherfucking black mamba on your ass. All that bitch got to do is bite you one time and you hold fast. You keep your integrity. You don't fold like a lawn chair, okay? You gonna get people gonna know that you were the chosen. All right? They gonna know a prophet was among them. All right? And it's easier said than done until you put in that predicament. That's why you build up your faith now. Things that go on this side, while we got these rivers of living water, they build up your faith. When you put in bad scenarios, you build up your faith. All right? I'm going to go to this excerpt I got to show, man, this devil been getting down like this, man. He ain't just start. That's how he rock, man. Now, this is a term that the ancient Romans used when they use animals and shit to put us to death. And all this shit gonna come back around, man. It's called Dominio ad Bestias. All right? And it means condemnation to beasts. Okay? And that's what these devils gonna do, man. And we're gonna see who they was doing these things to. All right? And it reads, Dominio ad Bestias. Condemnation to beasts was a form of Roman capital punishment. They're going to bring capital punishment down on those that fear Yahweh by Shema Shai. It's none under the sun. All right? When you read the book of Revelation and say the beast that was healed, that was talking about Rome. Okay? Healed from his deadly womb, that was talking about Rome. So we're amongst the modern day Romans. So let's see what they were doing back then, and we're going to liken it into this day and time. All right? In which the condemned person was killed by animals. This form of execution, which was first came to ancient Rome around the 2nd century BC, was part of the wider class of blood sports called Bestiaria. The act of Dominio ad Bestias was considered the entertainment for the lower classes of Rome. Killing by wild animals such as lions formed a part of the inaugural games of the Flavian amphitheater in 80 AD. Okay? Between the 1st and 3rd centuries AD, this penalty was also applied to the worst criminals, runaways, slaves, and Christians. All right? So the people that believe these scriptures and sound doctrine, modern day Rome, because through the spirit, man, Donald Trump is Nero back in the flesh. All right? And Nero was in power when Rome went down. Okay? Just a little bit before it. He had Paul and Peter put to death. All right? That's how this society is going to look at us, as the worst criminals. All right? And it said the Christians, those Christians in those days were Israelites, man. They knew those were the apostles, the fruit of the apostles. All right? That was all throughout Asia Minor, all throughout the provinces of Rome. Rome came down on them. Nero came down on them. He burnt the city and put it on the Christians. It said the Christians did it. In fact, let me go down to the meat of this, all right? Let's go down to the meat. All right. History and description. Christian Doctrine. This painting reads, Christian Doctrine by Henry Sermadowski, National Museum, Warsaw, shows the punishment of a Roman woman who had converted to Christianity. All right, and back then they had sound doctrine, so that woman was an Israelite according to the flesh. At the Emperor Nero's wish, the woman, like mythological Dirce, was tied to a wild boar and dragged around the arena. All right? These people was killing us in these sorts of manners, and they're going to do it again. A remnant of us, okay? All right? Now, here we go. Execution of Christians. All right? Now, there's they covered the faces of the judges thereof. These were actually Negroes, so-called Negroes, dark-skinned people. But iconoclasm. They're gonna paint us white. Okay. Faithful Unto Death by Herbert Schimmels. All right, and this is what those Romans was doing, and we're under the modern day Romans today, and they're going to do it again. The use of Dominio ad Bastilles against Christians began in the 1st century A.D. Tacitus states that during the first persecution of Christians under the reign of Nero, after the fire of Rome in 64 A.D., all right, and Rome was totally destroyed a few years later in 70 A.D., people were wrapped in animal skin called tunica molesta and thrown to dogs. This practice was followed by other emperors who moved it into the arena and used larger animals. Application of Dominio ad Bastilles to Christians was intended to equate them with the worst criminals, who were usually punished this way. So they're going to look at us men of the Lord as the worst criminals. All right, they're going to be merciless to us, okay? Lord willing, we're in that number. There was a widespread view among contemporary specialists that the prominence of Christians among those condemned to death in the Roman arena was greatly exaggerated in earlier times. That's bullshit. You got to know how to take the bones off the meat. All right, Esau always flattered. He always try to lighten up all these atrocities and calamities he brought up on the children of Israel. There is no evidence for Christians being executed at the Colosseum in Rome. And that's bullshit. You got to know how to take the meat off the bones, all right? Then why, if there's no evidence in it, why are we even reading this? Why even put these documented facts all throughout your literature and your criteria? Because it's true. You don't have to just go here and on this thread where I found on Wikipedia. You can find this information everywhere throughout this society, okay? According to Roman laws, Christians were guilty of high treason. Okay, that's what they're going to call us. You can see that going on now. They're going to say us Israelite, you Hebrew Israelite, you black Hebrew Israelites, you're coming against the state. All right? For their worship, Christians gathered in secret at night, making all lawful assembly and participating in such collegium illicitium or cototus nocturni, which is equated with the riot. All right? For their refusal to honor images of emperor by libations and incense. All right, so you could liken those horrible images to the mark of the beast. All right, and his image. All right, so we're going to refuse the mark of the beast. So now what they're going to want to do? They're going to want to sacrifice us. They're going to put us to death. Dissenters from that state, gods, sacrilege. All right, followers of magic prohibited by law. All right? And that's what they do. They call evil good and good evil. That's the way of the so-called white man, the Hebrew Edomites. Confessors of a religion unauthorized by the law. Religio nova. Paragina et illicita, according to the 12 tables. The spread of the practice of throwing Christians to beasts was reflected by the Christian writer Tertullian, 2nd century. All right? So, like when you read up, they was talking about it's not documented, it's bullshit. But then they're going to turn the writer back and say all of these Roman philosophers and that they have all of their writings documented, and they use them. They use, it's not only it's Tacitus, it's this guy Tertullian. Then what's the other guy? Everybody brings him out. What's that guy's name, man? His name at the tip, Josephus. And Josephus, all these guys say the same thing. But when they want to use these guys' writings to validate a point that they want to make, they go to these guys' writings. But all of a sudden, it wasn't documented that the Christians was getting thrown to beasts and shit, what you read up. It's bullshit. You got to know how to take the meat off the bones. He states that general public blame Christians for any general misfortune after natural disasters would cry away with them to the lion. After natural disasters would cry away with them to the lions. And that's what they're going to do us. This bitch is going to be full of natural disasters. All right. When we know that Esau, a lot of them not going to be natural disasters. It's going to be him getting order out of KO. He's going to be doing false flags, blowing up shit. But he's going to say we're the ones doing it. We're not ignorant of his devices. These are the things he's gonna do. He's gonna get some nigga, dress him up as a Hebrew Israelite with a beard, and make that nigga go do some wicked shit. All right? But he's a what they call an agent provocateur. All right, we not ignorant of how he get down. All right, that's what he gonna do, and then he gonna put it all over the TV screen and say we did it. Okay, this is the only reference from contemporaries mention Christians being thrown specifically to lions. Tertullian also wrote that Christians started avoiding theaters and circuses, which were associated with the place of their torture. All right, and that's why all these things started. That's why people don't understand circuses. All right, football games, the theaters. Everything in this society is birthed out of Rome. This is Rome revised, all right? This is that beast that was healed again, okay? The Passion of Saint Perpetua, Saint Felicitas, and their companions, a text which purports to be an eyewitness account of a group of Christians, Israelites, condemned to Damnatio ad Bestis and Carthage in 203, state that the men were required to dress in their robes of a priest of the Roman god Saturn. The woman, as a priestess of Ceres, was shown to crowd as such. And just show you, man, this place is drenched in Latin and Roman paraphernalia. All right, Saturn, all these moons, they all are derived from Romano-Greco society. The men and women were brought back out in separate groups, and first the men, then the women exposed to a variety of wild beasts. The victims were chained to poles or elevated platforms. Those who survived the first animal attacks were either brought back out of their further exposure to the beasts or executed in public by a gladiator. The persecution of Christians ceased by the 4th century. The Edict of Milan in 313 gave them freedom of religion. All right, 313. All right, and 313 is it. By the 4th century, that shit was over. We climbed into power. We started climbing the power around 300 AD. That shit stopped. All right, the Holy Empire. That's when Septimius Severus came into power. We started taking down those devils. All right. So, four century AD is probably a little too late. These are a bunch of martyrs that are documented. All right, Roman laws, which are known through the Byzantine collection. That's when we ran the earth. That's what so-called Negroes were in power. Okay, such as the Code of Theodosius and Code of Justinian. These are Israelites, defined which criminals will be thrown to beasts or condemned by other means. They included deserters from the army. Now that's the ones you turncoats. That's a nationwide. That's a not just a nationwide. That's a universal law. Traitors are supposed to get put to death, and it don't matter how you put them bitches to death. A traitor supposed to get put to death. That's why 2/3 of our people have to go. Even the heathen practice that, man. A traitor is supposed to be put down. Those who employed sorcerers to harm others during the reign of Caracalla. This law was reestablished in 357 AD by Constantius. You see, and that's our law. You see, they was using our laws, even though they was going off. That's a law, man. A witch, which you suffer not a witch to live. She's supposed to be burnt with fire. Prisoners, by the law of Cornelius, patricians were beheaded. Plebeians thrown to lions, and slaves were crucified. All right. And that's how we was taking down them devils. We was doing these type of things to them devils, man. When we came and contrast to popular belief in that last leg of the Rome, that Byzantine Empire, and we took over. And that's what we was doing to them damn Edomites. Counterfeiters who could be also burnt alive, all right? Political criminals. For example, after the overthrow and assassination of Commodus, the new emperor threw the lions both the servants of Commodus and Narcissus, who strangled him. Even the Narcissus brought the new emperor to power. He committed a crime of murdering the previous one. The same punishment was applied to Mystius, who organized the assassination of Emperor Alarion. All right, and that's traitor. That's treachery. Traitor bullshit. You're supposed to get put to death. All right? All right? All right? Procedure was normally drowned in a leather blood with snake bag was filled with snakes. Best, but could be thrown to beasts if a suitable bottle of water was not available. All right? instigators of uprisings who were either crucified, thrown to beasts, or exiled depending on their social status. Those who kidnapped children for ransom, according to the law of 315 by the Emperor Constantine the Great, who was a Jake, who most definitely was an Israelite, were thrown to beasts or beheaded. All right? So, yeah. I was getting off a lot of the topic, but man, I love reading this history, the ancient history, man. I love reading it. But back to the topic at hand, man, we're going to be putting scenarios, man, where these devils going to torture us, man. That's why I'm going to go to these scriptures. And the scriptures say, what manner of people should you be, knowing that these things are going to happen, man. And I'm going to go to Romans 2:10, and it reads, fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. See, a lot of us brothers going to suffer. They're going to have snakes, torture chambers, do what they do to those Ishmaelites in Guantanamo Bay. You know, water whipping you, you know, tying you, making you stand up in awkward positions, sleep deprivation, all these things. These are the things they're going to do. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. When he casts you into prison, he's going to roll you out. He's going to have his way with you. He's going to be the diabolical imp that he is, that you may be tried. So a lot of brothers going to have to go through these type of things to show that they are devout, righteous, stand-up guys, okay? And you shall have tribulation 10 days. But be thou found faithful unto death, all right? You got to go through these things and be ready to die, man. You have to be ready to die, man. And it's not as easier said than done. That's why you got to be drinking these rivers of living water and eating this bread of life and getting well nourished. Trimming your lamps, okay? Getting it in. And that's where you get your strength. You draw your strength from this word, man. And I will give thee a crown of life, all right? But the scriptures tell you these are the type of things that's going to happen, all right? All right? Well, I'm going 25. All right, now I'm going to skip down to verse 25. But that which ye have already hold fast till I come, this doctrine. All right, this doctrine of life. All right? And he that overcometh, so we're going to have to overcome these type of things, man. The fear of death, fear of our children getting put to death so we can renounce Yahushua, being threatened to death, being put to death, been put on the gallows. All right? We got to overcome these things. All right? And keeping my works unto the end. And then keeping his work to the end. Don't get the chip. Don't renounce Yahushua. And don't fear your life unto death, man. All right? To him I will give power over the nations. Then to him he going to give glory and majesty, rulership and dominion. Okay? All right? So we have to go through these things. All right? I'm going to give another precept. Nothing new under the sun, everything done for our learning. This is 1 Corinthians 10, verse 4. All right. Now, this happened when Paul went against them damn Philistines and how he wanted to be, the spirit he was in. He know when these devils get their hands on you, this how these devils get down. He was ready to go. This 1 Chronicles 10 and 3. And the battle went sore against Saul, and the archers hit him, and he was wounded of the archers. Then said Saul to his armor bearer, draw thy sword and thrust me through within, lest these uncircumcised come and abuse me. See, that comes with the territory. When your enemy come, he's going to abuse you. He's going to torture you. All right? That's why you ask them, the Father, let me fall in your hands rather than the hands of men. This devil, man, he going to get loose. But his armor bearer would not. He was so afraid. So Saul took a sword and fell upon himself. All right, so he killed himself before he wanted to go get ridiculed, mocked, scoffed, like our great king was. All right, but it's gonna be a lot of brothers' lot. We got to go through what our great king went through. He was embarrassed. All right, if that's your lot, you got to pray to the Father that whatever he have sanctioned for you to go through, that you be found worthy and you have the strength to go through it. All right, we have to do these things right now. Seek Yahweh Shema Shah while he may be found right now. This is Mark 13 and 13. All right? And ye shall be hated of all men for my sake. And everybody's going to be trying to kill us. They're going to hate us. Those that hate you, kill you. Those that hate you seek out your life, all right? They come to snuff out your light, man. But he that shall endure to the end shall be saved. So you got to be found faithful to the end. All the way to the missiles get sparked off, all right? All right, you can't be scared of him that can only kill the body. Let me get that. This Matthew 10 and I know it's in the 10th chapter. Let me find it. Might be 20. Let me see. All right. This is Matthew 10 and 17. Beware of men, for they will deliver you up to councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. They're going to torture you. They're going to kill you. All right? Be circumspect around them. Be ready. And you should be brought before governors for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. What was happening to that guy, that's going to happen to a lot of the brothers. That's going to happen to a lot of us. But when you're delivered up, take no thought of what you will speak, for it shall be given unto you that same hour which you shall speak. For it's not that you speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. So that's how you get built up. You get the Spirit of your Father right now. You get that power right now. All right? That's what you get right now. And brother shall deliver brother to death and father to child. And the children shall rise up their parents and cause them to be put to death. All right? So you're not supposed to be afraid of death, man. It's etched in stone. These prophecies are going to be fulfilled. Brothers are going to be, betrayed by biological family and false brethren and put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. All right? But when they persecute you in this city, flee to another. For I say unto you, you shall have gone over the cities of Israel to the Son of Man become. So that's the spirit we're supposed to be in. I'm still looking for that scripture. Here we go, verse 28. And fear not them which kill the body, but which are not able to kill the soul. See, the so-called white man, the worst he could do to you is kill you and torture you. Once you have in your mindset and swallow down knowledge and wisdom, and you've renewed your mind through the washing of the word, it's nothing he can do to you. And you don't fear death through the spirit. It's nothing he can do. Our Heavenly Father told us, fear not them which kill the body. We supposed to be bold as lions if they have us chained up with a snake in our face. We ought to be trying to bite the fuck out the snake. Snake trying to bite us. We trying to bite that bitch. Spit on that bitch, man. Bitch, devil, come on, fuck it. Get it over with, you fucking devil. We supposed to be bold as lions. He say, fear not them which could kill the body. That's the only thing Esau's going to have on us. He's going to want to kill us. Okay? But are not able to kill the soul. Yahweh Shai is the one that can roll you out to the max. Not this devil. He can only do what Yahweh Shai lets him do. But rather fear him, which is able to destroy the body, the soul, and body in hell. Okay? So we're supposed to fear our power, our great king. Not this piece of shit, non-melanated, degenerate fucking orangutan, man. So with that, Lord willing, sit down and edify to the hearers. I want to give infinite honors to Yahweh Shema Shai. Double honors to our teachers, the apostles of Great Millstone. And salutation to you, Shasiah, I can push this truth across the four winds. Kwam Yasharada.